Welcome to This Day and Everything Cool for January 16th. On this day back in 1962, filming began on a British spy thriller called Dr. No, starring Sean Connery as the iconic
Bond. James Bond.
The James Bond books by author Ian Fleming first began hitting shelves 10 years earlier, and although Dr. No wasn't the first adaptation, it was the most successful, kicking off the James Bond film series that continues to this day. Many different actors have since taken the lead role. The tone of the films and attitudes of its lead character have changed considerably over time, but it's easy to see the impact that Dr. No and other early Bond films still have to this day. On January 16, 1969, history was made not on Earth, but above it. The Soviet spacecraft Soyuz 4 and Soyuz 5 performed the first ever docking of manned spacecrafts while in orbit, with the two crafts joining together to allow their crews to transfer from one vehicle to the other. This was the first time this was done by any nation, beating the United States, which performed a similar maneuver a few months later. This was an important first step toward modern space travel, with manned spacecrafts docking with each other, as well as bigger space stations like the International Space Station. A little more recently, January 16, 2007 saw the release of the very first expansion for World of Warcraft called the Burning Crusade. The main game was released in 2004, but the Burning Crusade was the first big drop of new content, giving players more area to explore, a higher level cap, and new missions. This helped propel World of Warcraft to be the biggest game in the world at the time and kicked off a new craze in fantasy MMO games. Blizzard is still releasing new expansions for World of Warcraft and are planning to keep the game going for years to come.